MC Spectre Mercenary Company Milsim, and today we're going to be going over the pilot course to allow operators to fly aero vehicles for the Milsim, and is also, as a note, required for anybody wanting to be a BCT instructor or a pilot course instructor, or any instructor for any other course as a helicopter is required to deliver the participants to their necessary training areas. Alright, so for the pilot course, again, just like a few of these demos, I'm fast traveling to the locations, or getting there early just to make it a little bit quicker. So normally, you would start from Air 1. I don't care what class, what weapons, or anything that the participant uses, as long as they're within the SMC rules for the classes and uniforms. So you will take them in a helicopter and you'll fly south until you get to Liberty Airport. Once at Liberty Airport, we're going to go over all the objectives and we're just going to go and do it. So once at Liberty Airport, the only goal is to secure a plane. Doesn't matter how. I don't care if you kill everything or nothing. Just take the plane, get going. I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. So what I'm going to do is do a bit of an expedited version of this. So when we do the flying, so you'll take the plane. They will travel from Liberty Airport, go along the coastline. They must travel between 50 and about 100 meters off the water. 50 to 75 meters even is better. And they have to make their way to Whalers Bay Airfield, right here. They need to land the plane on this airstrip. Once this is done, they can take off again and must travel across Aroa to Aroa Airport, where they will land the plane along this airstrip facing the airport, and then must secure the airport as well. So let's get to it. A couple things to note while I'm getting the plane. One, the plane has to survive the whole thing. So if at any point the plane is too damaged to fly, it could be at the very end. If they land the plane at Aroa Airport, but it's too damaged and it's not able to take off after that location, consider it a fail. The plane must be able to land at every single location, and it must be able to take off from everyone, even the last one. Do this. All right. So no markers will be allowed. The participant will be allowed to use the map prior to doing this, just to confirm where everything is. However, once they get in the plane, it's going to be up to them to locate these areas on their own without the use of a map when flying. Alright, so we're going to take off. So, at about this altitude, roughly, a little bit higher maybe, not by much. About here is a good altitude, good cruising altitude for them. So we want them to be able to fly to locations. We want them to be able, to know that they can fly up a plane. A helicopter is easy. Helicopters are very easy. We're not doing it with the helicopter for that specific reason. So, at each airport, they will have 2 chances to land. They'll be allowed 1 chance to go around and attempt the landing, If they don't think they can make it, then they get one more pass to make the landing. Now, I want them over and above the water for this first landing. Obviously, it's not going to be possible when they're flying from Whalers Bay to the Aroa Airport. And if they need to change their altitude for a pass, that is fine, but I do want them flying relatively low to the ground. And if they seem like they're getting too high, if they scale up a little bit, then you can tell them to go back down. So, as the instructors, however, just want to make you guys aware, you are allowed to check your map, make sure they're on the right way. So you're allowed to do that. I would prefer if everybody just uses landmarks, knowing that's channel's port. But if you need to make sure that they're on the right path, keep in mind if they do not land at the correct location or they land out of sequence, that is also considered a fail. It should have been explained during the BCT as well. However, if it is not, or it's skipped over or missed in some way, or forgotten, you can also explain them the use of bearings. So for example, bearings, north is 0 degrees, east is 90, south 180, west 270, and north can also be substituted for 360. So for example, rough bearing right now, heading approximately bearing 30. Just gives us, a bit of an idea of where we're at, what we're looking at, and also gives them an idea of, okay, this is what I need to kind of be paying attention to. So right here, you'll notice we're getting closer to it. So obviously they're going to have to go over the over the 50 to 75 meters, so they are allowed to start climbing. Now, like I said, it's going to be up to them to make the landing, so they need to get themselves oriented and set out to do this, to do a proper landing. It is possible to land planes multiple times. People have said it is not. It is. You just need to be very careful. So, for example, that hit it, but landed. That is fine. They are not to take that plane. If this plane breaks, they are to restart. Alright. So they successfully landed and then took back off. That's all it's required. They need to show that they can make a proper landing. Even if it's a bit rough, they still need to make the landing. Alright. Now, this is a little bit of a longer trip, and it's a little bit harder to orient themselves. So you, as the instructor, are going to be giving them bearings to follow. So keep in mind where this is in comparison to this. I'm just going to keep it marked for now so you know. So you should be telling them, for example, head bearing 90 degrees. They should know to pretty much fly just straight east. There is a not quite, so they may obviously, with these maneuvers, they're going to have to do some maneuvers here to get over and over top of these things. Especially in a plane, helicopter, obviously not a problem. It's not that hard. Just go straight up. Plane, obviously significantly more difficult. If they veer off course, just let them know, keep heading bearing 90. Now, just like with the parachute course, one major thing that I want them to be able to do is understand that once they land an aero vehicle, plane, helicopter, whatever it happens to be, it's going to be typically land and go to work. So they need to be ready to land this thing safely and successfully, and then immediately be ready to do whatever objective is required. So I'm currently heading bearing 135. Get a little bit more south to get a correct pass. So I don't care where they land. I don't care where they stop it. They just have to land successfully on runway and make a successful stop without destroying the plane. Like so. And stop. Alright. That will be all of the flying portion. After this, they just must secure the base. How they do it is up to them. They can go loud, they can go quiet. It's whatever they choose to do as the trainee. And like usual, if at any time a civilian is killed, that is mission failed. So, for example, that would have been a fail, because they were KIA. I'd also like to point out, however, that when I checked back, there was no indication that the mortar would land on that location. So, in a situation like this, where, okay, they were actually clearing the base, it was fine, but then something happened with the game, that's no problem. They can get another chance to secure the base if they want. If it's at this point and this point only. I didn't think the game would do that, but it's a good chance for me to show that one-time option. That doesn't usually happen with the mortar, but it can.
If you don't tell me where these assholes are taking Ballard, I'm gonna beat you until you can't stop.
So for this one, this would be an example of a exception to the no death rule. Or understanding that as well, they also have 3 chances to complete this mission. And as long as they are at this location, that would be considered a checkpoint.
They must
And no issue with detection on this location. There's no requirements to be silent once you're at this location.
Who are you?
Oh, no, no! Gunfire!
Damn! I got a gun! Ah!
I've done a good job before. This shit.
Strange. I'm going to see what's up. I got your back, bud. Ah! Damn! Yeah, my sight is clear.
It's all clear on my side.
We're taking shots over here.
Don't seem right.
20 grand for a scout.
Whatever that was.
Alright. And just like before, with pretty much every course, go ahead, remove suppressor, take a couple shots. No one's approaching. This is considered an airport cleared. That will be the end of the mission and the broadcast.